his I have many issues with President Trump, and his economic policies is not one of them. And I fully support what he's trying to do in trying to re-industrialize America. I was thinking about it. I mean, the matter is before the U.S. Supreme Court right now of the issue of tariffs, which my fingers are crossed that the U.S. Supreme Court would actually rule in his favor on this matter. Not just because I support Trump, but because literally the future of America depends on this thing. And I've been thinking to myself, how did we get here? How did we get here? How did we get to this point? And I'll tell you how we got to this point. There is a movie that I enjoyed watching, which was released in 2006, I think, called Inside Man, starring Denzel Washington. It's about a rich banker who sold his soul to Nazi Germany during World War II in order to make money and in order to become rich. And he made an obscene amount of money working with the Nazis. And in his own admission, he knew what he was supposed to do at the time. There are so many things that he was supposed to do, but he didn't do. And in his own admission, because the Nazis paid too well. The Nazis paid too well. This banker, whose name is in this movie Inside Man, what was he called? Let me just check now. He was called Arthur Chase in this Arthur Case. He made so much money doing business with Nazi Germany. He became a very rich man. And so his bank was robbed in this movie Inside Man because people knew that he used to do business with the Nazis, and they took some of the secrets that are evidence that he used to do business with Nazi Germany. And so this lady that he hired to retrieve the documents that were stolen from him, he told her that there was a Jewish family that was friends with him that was shipped to the concentration camps, but he didn't help this family because the Nazis paid too well. I need to keep saying this point. The Nazis paid well too well. And obviously, I'm not equating doing business with China with the Nazis. I'm just using this movie, Inside Man, starring Denzel Washington, as an illustration that sometimes people know what they're supposed to do, but they can't do it because they are making such obscene levels of profit that they are just unable to make the right decision. That is what has been happening in America for the past 40 years. The American business elites have made obscene amount of money shipping millions of jobs to China. This is what has happened. They have become obscenely rich shipping American jobs to China. This is what they've been doing for 40 years. And obviously, I understand these people are not we're not American presidents or anything like that. I mean, when you are a business leader, you are concerned primarily about the profit, you are primarily about the quarterly, annual results. You're not concerned about how the United States is doing. You're not concerned about where your country will be in 50 years. You're concerned about the shareholder. And so the business elites made the clearly cynical choice to make money at the expense of America. And I'm not saying that they are bad people for it. I understand why they did it. It's a rational decision. There was money to be made by shipping millions of jobs from Ohio, by shipping millions of jobs from West Virginia, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, um, Wyoming. There are certain towns in Ohio, by the way, where there's less than 1,000 people in them. These are towns that used to be booming back in the day. Detroit, which used to be the automaking capital of the world, was also hollowed out because these business elites were making so much money shipping Detroit jobs to Asia that they did not even think twice. The fact that Detroit is what it is, right? You know that Detroit is the only American city that I know of that declared bankruptcy. People were leaving Detroit so much that they were not making enough money from taxes and rates and property taxes and all of the other things. And they declared bankruptcy a couple of years ago. This is what happened because American business elites decide, no, they didn't decide 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It started in the late 80s. You can even say it started in the mid 70s, slowly shipping American jobs to Asia, slowly and surely until you end up having a system that is purely predicated on treating the American people as just consumers. Consumers, where everything that is used has to be made somewhere else. And they became rich doing that. They became very rich doing that. So when President Trump talks about bringing jobs back to America, they are not talking about, well, they are making claims about the benefits of free trade and all that bullshit, but that's not really the reason. They are making money. That's the reason. They are making so much money in China. They are swimming in Chinese cash. That is what is happening. They are making so much money. They are drowning in Chinese cash. So then for me, then it goes back to saying that America needs to make a decision. Where will you be 50 years from now? Where will you be 50 years from now? Because these business elites will give you all the reasons of why reindustrializing America is a bad idea. They're going to give you all the reasons why reindustrializing America is a bad idea because they are making so much money in China. But America needs to make a decision. The issue of reindustrializing America is a matter of survival. The issue of reindustrializing America is an issue of life and death. America is in a battle for survival. America is in a battle for supremacy. The battle between China and America. The people that I blame for this mess is the American presidents who let this thing happen. And I'll blame all of them, all the way from before Ronald Reagan. I'll blame all of them. I'll start with, who is this guy? Before Ronald Reagan, that guy, that Democrat guy, who was a bad president. Through Ronald Reagan to George Senior, Bush Senior, to Bill Clinton, all the way to Bush Jr., Barack Obama. Every single one of them, including the Congresses that were running the United States during those years. What were they doing? How did they let this happen? If you don't have an industrial base, you can't be a world power. Not only that, just look at Detroit. And I don't want to hear anything about industrial jobs being jobs of the past. That's just not true. No. No. Nope. That's not true. That's not true. Obviously, industrialization looks different in 2025 than it looks in 1965. But the idea that industrial jobs are jobs of the past is just not true. If industrial jobs were jobs of the past, then the Asian nations wouldn't be wiping the floor with Western nations just by industrialization. South Korea, Vietnam, India, Malaysia, Japan, all of which are doing far better than most European and most Western nations. If industrial jobs were jobs of the past, then these guys wouldn't be wiping the floor with your asses. So it is very important that the US Supreme Court, when this matter comes before them, that they actually rule in favor of President Trump. It is very important because it is a matter of survival. It is a matter of life and death. It is a matter of people need to think of it this way. Think the year is 265 and 2065 or 2070. Where will America be? 2070, 28. Will America be playing second fiddle to China? Will China be the foremost industrial power at the time? So if it means that America right now needs to endure like temporary pain in order to rebuild the industrial base, then so be it. The pain of rebuilding industry is worth it. The pain of bringing back industrial jobs is worth it. It's absolutely worth it. Because the issue of rebuilding industry is not a matter of next quarter's results or this financial year's results or next financial year's results. The issue of rebuilding industrial base is the issue of where will this nation be 50 years from now? What will the lives of the people be like 50 years from now? What will be the living conditions be 50 years from now? What will the American dream look like 50, 100 years from now? If the United States of America does not rebuild industry, then it's going to go the path that the United Kingdom went of being a used to be. 100 years ago, the United Kingdom's economy was 9% of the world's economy. In 2025, the United Kingdom's economy is less than 2% of the world's economy, which means the United Kingdom's economy significant right now is so small, it shrunk in significance by more than 80%. If the United States does not reindustrialize, it will go down the route of the United Kingdom. It will go down that route of a used to be power that is just loud and no one cares what you think. Remember what made the United Kingdom great? Industrialization. There's not a single nation in the world that became great without industrialization. Any country that neglects and ignores industrialization will always play second or third fiddle to others. That is what Asian nations understand. And as I said, that American businessmen made American business elites made too much money shipping American jobs to China. I don't blame them. I don't think that they were being malicious. I think one company that people can think of that played a big role in that is Walmart, which is the epitome of a store that is 80% everything that 80% of what is in the store is made from China. But Sam Walton and his children, they made so much money buying everything that they are selling in the US from China. And who was going to stop them from doing that? If there was no cohesive policy coming from the White House and Congress to say, we want to focus on building American industry. The issue of companies like Apple building products in China came later. This thing started with Walmart in the 70s and 80s, buying everything Almost 80% of everything that is in Walmart stores made in China. Walmart, Costco, how did that happen? Who allowed this to happen? Like we can take one product, say bicycles. Why are they not made in the US? Take another product, dishwashing machines. Why are they not made in the US? Take another product, microwaves. Every house has a microwave. Every household has a microwave. A dishwasher. Why are these products not made in the US? Folks, how did you let this happen? How did you let? And then we come to electronics. Electronics are the latest. I mean, phones, laptops, computers. And that's even if we put that aside, so many of the household goods. Why are they not made in the US? Hmm? Okay, Americans love German cars and Japanese cars. Toyota, Nissan, Mac, BM. Why are they not making them in the US? Why are these BM factories not in Texas or Georgia or Florida or Arizona? Because the government can make a requirement that if you are selling cars here, 50% of them must be made here. It's a simple requirement. If you want to sell your BMs here, let's just say you want to sell your BMs here, say 40% of all the BMs you are selling here must be made here. It's a simple requirement. It's non-negotiable. That is what China does. It tells people if you are coming in and you are doing something of value, they give you standard requirements. You're gonna make it here. You're gonna have a local partner. It's non-negotiable. Take it or leave it. And people do it, and because they know they're gonna make money. So you can go down the issue of, I mean, what else is there, man? Every single thing that is being used in households, industrial use. Let me make this example about this one thing. Do you guys know that 80% of all drugs that are used in the United States are made in China? 80%. Here we're talking about chronic medicine, we're talking about oncology medicines, we're talking about all kinds of medicines, tablets, capsules. How did that happen? How did you let that happen? Yeah. So this issue, this fight that Trump is fighting is bigger than Trump. It's bigger than you. It is a matter of where will the United States be 50 years from now? Where will the United States be 50 years from now? Where will the United States be 100 years from now? And the choice is yours. Yeah, and let's see what the U.S. Supreme Court decides about the issue of tariffs. Fingers crossed. But cheers, folks.